I did this slideshow shortly before we moved to reminisce, and I shared it with some of our neighbors who really liked it. I think they liked the music, but I can't put the music on YouTube. And these are all taken right around our house. Well, it was 2006. That's the field that was in corn or beans most of the time during the summer. Now I'm dividing it up by the seasons. And those are lilacs. They're hiding the chicken coop. And that shed on the right I put that up knowing that we were going to move, put our belongings in that. And that's our crabapple tree. It was a bit pinker than it looks right here. That's the tractors up in there. We own both these trucks at once. They're a 1990 and a 2000 Dodge Dakotas. We had good sunsets up there. There wasn't much to block them. That's the back of our house. Can't tell you if that was a weird one. It might have been a jet stream that got wiped away. There's the chicken coop in the middle. We never had chickens though. There's when the fields are in corn. There's the 2-inch bore muzzle loading cannon. I shot 1 pound 2-inch ball. There's Elena when she was a baby, looking at the poppies. Those are we looked at these maples all the time. There had originally been 4 there, and I cut down the 2 middle ones. That's looking up on the hill. This must be out in the field somewhere. Looks like a storm coming in, but I don't know if it was. This northern lights were very colorful, and the digital camera actually caught it, even with the stars in it, which surprised me. That was about a 5-second exposure. I see that this digital camera, which I'm recording with, is having trouble with the different compositions, but that's, at least you can kind of see what's going on. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as the original slideshow that I'm looking up over the top of it with. Yeah, we had our best neighbors were the 40 or 20 to 40 horses, usually at least 20. And that was in the last, maybe 10 years we were there. And there were about 6 or 7 full colts this particular spring and summer. And they used to use the horses for taking people on rides in wagons. Our neighbors did. They were very forgiving of our kids riding motorcycles up in their pasture. Now it's the autumn. Now we're still driving that truck. And as I'm saying this, it is Thanksgiving 2014. So that's, the truck's 14 years old now. Yeah, that tree was 84 feet high and fell 1 week before we sold the house. I posted this on Facebook today, this picture, I think. I don't know, maybe not. I made a photo of these 2 trees from the same exact angle in all 4 seasons. And put it all together. A good year for goldenrod. Just wildflowers out in the pasture after it wasn't being used quite so heavy. There are now gigantic power lines going through this exact spot where we used to have beautiful sunsets. And up there are now gigantic wind turbines on that hill. So times have changed. It's not the same if you go back. There was a tree house up there, and the whole tree and the tree house have all burned down. So there's the treehouse tree. It's a beautiful maple. I think it was at least 4 stories high as far as the tree house. This is the top of the tree house looking down at the house. So the kids got this view a lot when they were playing up there. There's a cemetery. It's a Quakertown cemetery. And Carlette's friend, Crystal, died when she was 5, Edie? 7. And a brain aneurysm, I believe. And No? What?
Leukemia.
Oh, leukemia. There's the geese that Edie loves. She better not look at it, she'll get teary-eyed. They'd come in almost every year in the cornfields across the road. Here's the part I don't miss. It was cozy in the house. We burnt wood for many years, and we had a furnace for backup. That's the other shed. we kept our motorcycles in, and a tractor for mowing lawn and blowing snow. I planted those trees from seedlings. Planted 50, but only about 4 of them lasted. Across our neighbors across the road. We had a 2-story home, so these are the views. That was the view from my office. These maples were old, and we had at least 3 go down while we lived there. But I planted 2 more, so it kind of made up for it. It's kind of bleak, but yet still very beautiful in its own way. We got a lot of wind up there. It would make drifts. The chicken coop has been completely buried, and another shed would be pretty close to it sometimes. They're neighbors. They're the closest neighbors other than the house next door. See, we had a hand pump with a separate well, hand dug well underneath it. And we had it working for at least 10 years, I think. But it broke. I think mice would crawl down into it. Here's my 69 Roadrunner. And my mom and dad came to visit, and I think my dad took that picture. That's a floor that I put in. My first laminate floor. And that's the same room as we got it done, being remodeled. And this is Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner. We'd have a lot of people up. That's the living room. And he's over with Elena. That's our cousin's wife, Lisa. That's the kitchen. We went back to this house this summer, and the kitchen looks almost exactly the same. Everything's been changed upstairs. That's our master bath. Bedroom. We didn't have a master. We only had 1 bathroom in the whole house. It's guest, or whoever. I sold a lot of this picture. Actually, it isn't all in there when I was selling pictures. That's it.